This is the 2026 Honda Passport RTL. Does it have exactly what you want? Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. Today we're at Holmes Honda to go over the particulars on this fully redesigned Passport. If you want to know more, check out the link down in the description of the video. Here on the front end, we're going to find our LED headlights and LED daytime running lights. You can also see the design of the turn signal indicators. The Passport logo will be stamped into the front end. Now, if you're wondering, this area is not functional. It's there purely for looks. What are your thoughts on that? I think it does look nice. It breaks things up a little bit instead of just having that solid color for the hood. And you'll find a few different finishes here, between a little bit of gloss black, some matte gray, and a lighter gray color right here. We'll find that as well. And you're going to find a lot of great safety features with Honda Sensing. That's standard across the board, no matter the trim level you go with, which is adaptive cruise control, collision mitigation braking, lane keeping assist, road departure mitigation, and traffic jam assist. Something else that is standard across the board, across all trim levels, all-wheel drive. That's what you're going to have no matter what trim level you go with. If you want front-wheel drive, this is not something to consider. 18-inch wheels with a gray finish. It is a gloss finish, but we're going to find a lot of matte finish in a lot of areas, which I think is a good thing. The fender surround right here, we're going to have the lower portion of the body right there. Also, your side view mirrors. Now, you won't find turn signal indicators built in here, and you also will not find that they are power folding. They're going to be manually folding. Everything else is here that I know a lot of you look for. You're going to have power adjustable mirrors and your blind spot monitoring. The door handles, again, that's going to be in a matte finish, as are the roof rails up there. We work our way around to the rear. We're going to find our LED taillights. Now, in this case, with the Passport, you're going to have the black insert here. Would you rather see that on the front end, or do you like that stamped look compared to what we see here? Here's your rear window wiper, and we do have a rear roof spoiler right here. Under the hood is the 3.5-liter dual overhead cam V6. Only a 5 horsepower increase from 2025 to 2026. 385 horsepower. The torque numbers remain the same at 262, but we will see an extra gear for the transmission from 2025 to 26. That means we have a 10-speed automatic transmission. And how about your MPGs? A little bit of a glare here, but I'll tell you what the numbers are in case you can't see it. 19 city, 25 highway, 21 combined, and 4.8 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. And you have an 18.5 gallon gas tank. On a single tank of gas, you should be able to get about 333 miles in the city and about 425 miles out on the highway. You can tow up to 5,000 pounds with this Passport, and you're looking at 44 up to 83.8 cubic feet of cargo capacity, depending on whether or not you lower the seat backs, as I have done. Now, this model does not come with a sunroof, but for the models that do, it will be a panoramic sunroof, and something that will make a lot of people very happy is the presence of a spare tire. Now, this is not the only option you have for that. You can actually have a kit put in to have a full-size spare right here. You could also use this for other things, such as additional storage. There is quite a bit of storage back here, a little bit of additional space on each side behind the fender wells. We'll also find a 12-volt power outlet and additional space on both sides in this area. The exterior color is platinum white, and there is a gray interior. Plenty of room with the armrest right here. I like that when it's nice and flat, much more comfortable that way. A couple of cup holder options here with the upper door bin. We also have the lower door bin right here. Now, one thing I like to talk about that a lot of you ask about is, can you recline these seat backs for your second row? No, you can't. There is a little bit of recline built in, but ultimately this is where that area is going to be. That's where it's going to stay. We have the fold-down armrest with the cup holders built in, and we'll find the rear seat pockets on the back of each seat, and rear air conditioning vents for your rear seat passengers, along with USB connectivity. The sticker price is $46,655. Let's see what else you get for that price. You're going to have your sunglass holder up here with your upper console, and then you can see what else we have in addition to that. I like the space that Honda makes available right here above your glove box. giving you just a little bit of extra storage space for smaller items. Larger door bins and armrests here for the driver and passenger seats, and plenty of adjustability built in. The driver and the passenger seats are both heated and have power adjustability. The difference between the two, the passenger seat does not raise and lower like this and does not have lumbar support, but you will have all of that on the driver's side. We'll look over here and find seat memory. We can open and close our power tailgate right there. You can adjust your side view mirrors here, lock and unlock, lock your windows, and roll the windows down and back up. The lever right here allows for adjusting your tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. Here's everything for adaptive cruise control, and then your other controls right here for the radio. We can go through a few features here. All I'm doing is using the scroll wheel right there in case you're wondering, just to show you what's here. We're not going to go through everything in great detail, but just to give you an idea, you do have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You can wirelessly pair your smartphone. And via your turn signal lever right here, you can also turn the headlights on, and you'll see the likeness on your passport right there is illuminated. The brake lights also come on, and the turn signals work on that likeness as well. Now, if you don't like what you see here as far as the overall design of the driver's display, let me do this. We're going to be able to use the scroll wheel on the right-hand side of the steering wheel to go through here. We can adjust quite a few things. As you can see tire pressure and all that good stuff, oil life, everything is here. But here is what I ultimately want to show you. By the way, there is your navigation. If you want to bring that up, you can right there. But that's not all. We can go in here to gauge display, and you can make a few different changes here. The overall design can change. We can go to round if we want to, as you can see right there. We can go to bar. Just run through these real fast. It just depends on what you want. Round, minimal, and then we started with bar minimal. And we also have minimal right there. So there's what you're going to have depending on what you want. When you're ready to go back, you just go back up here to back. You push on that scroll wheel, and we can get back to the main area. Now we have the 12.3-inch touch screen. Very easy to deal with, very easy to use. A lot of good information here. You can go in here to vehicle settings and make a lot of changes depending on what you need to do or what you need to know about. You can even change the color on the screen right there. You'll notice that's actually appropriate for this particular passport, but you can change that if you want to. If you have a different color, you can go right to menu right here and body color, and it won't change it on the exterior. It'll only change it on the screen. I have actually had people who thought I was talking about you could actually change the color of the vehicle itself. You can see all of the different colors that are available. So you can change that to whatever you want to, depending on your personal taste. But a very simple system to learn and use. You do have a multi-view rear view camera. Nothing new as far as this goes, but depending on the trim level that you buy, you can have cameras all over your passport, which is very nice to have. We also have our front and rear parking sensors. As we work our way down, here is the control for your radio, the volume, turning that on and off. Passport logo, again, stamped right here. And then we're going to have our dual zone climate control. If you want to control the rear climate control, the third zone of climate control, we can do that right there. And then we can come back to our front seat settings. You can sync everything together. Now, you only have the heated seats, not ventilated. I could use those today in Northwest Louisiana, but it's just the way it is. Here's your wireless charging pad. Couple more USB ports, and the second of the two 12-volt power outlets. Something that a lot of people have mixed feelings about, but it's here. It's the push-button shifter. Which do you like, push button or more of a conventional style? Everybody has their opinions on that. Here's our drive mode selector. If we want to try that out, we'll go and show our driving mode. So here's what we're going to have. You're going to start with normal, econ, snow, trail, sand, and tow. And then we go all the way back up to the top, and there's your sport mode. And you'll also have your power parking brake here, brake hold mode, hill start assist. You can turn the auto stop or idle stop, as it's called by Honda, the auto stop start system ultimately on and off. There's your cup holders and plenty of room within the center console. Driving the Passport is a nice experience. It has a good, comfortable ride quality. The driver's seat seems to be very comfortable. So I would imagine on the longer driving experiences, road trips, whatever the situation is where you're in the Passport for a while, you're definitely going to be nice and comfortable. A lot of adjustability built in between the power adjustable driver's seat and the manually adjustable steering wheel. So you should be able to set everything up no matter your height to be nice and comfortable and able to see just fine. And as far as road noise goes on the particular road that I'm on, I don't know that my microphone gives you a realistic experience of what it sounds like. It may sound louder than it actually is. In my opinion, it's not too bad. You do get some noise, but it's not bad. You're getting noise more off of the tires than anything else. I really don't have any issues with a lot of wind noise, but that is where it's so important for you to drive these vehicles for yourselves, because it might vary quite a bit depending on what you're dealing with, where you're driving, the type of road surface, different variables such as those. But we'll try and do the best we can to give you that sound of what it's like, what it sounds like to hear the road noise. But to me, like I say, we're in good shape where that's concerned. Easy to see out of. I always like that. You've got all those great driving aids that I mentioned earlier with Honda Sensing that are going to help keep you aware of what's going on around you and stay safe. A very well-balanced vehicle. Plenty of room here in the front seat, plenty of room in the second seat area for your passengers back there. I think that there's a lot of room within both areas, both the front and the back seats. Plus, you're going to have a very easy to manage gas and brake pedal. You don't have to worry about turbo lag. I know it's something a lot of people concern themselves with because you don't like a turbocharger. Well, with the lack of a turbocharger, you don't have to deal with that. Very responsive steering and a good turning radius for a midsize SUV. Overall, I'd say a very nice vehicle. There is a lot of space within the interior for storing smaller items, not just larger items, but when you do need it, you have all that space in the rear cargo area that's going to be very beneficial, and you have your towing capabilities when you need that. There it is, the 2026 Honda Passport RTL. Does it have exactly what you want? Tell me down in the comments section. If you want to see additional trim levels of the 26 Passport, I have videos on each one. Make sure to check those out. I'd like to say a special thanks to my friends at Holmes Honda for loaning me this Passport for the day so I could tell you all about it. And a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already. That way you don't miss any future videos. And make sure to share this video on your timeline, if you would, on social media so other people can see it. If you'd like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.